Hello everyone. Today I've decided to make a different sort of video other than the videos on how to solve problems in the ACSL short problem topics. I decided that it would be good if I provided some insight on intros to ACSL or computer science in general. So today I'm going to be doing a video about what exactly is competitive programming. The Wikipedia definition for competitive programming is that it's a mind sport usually held over the internet or a local network involving participants trying to program according to provided specifications. Contestants are referred to as sport programmers. I think this makes competitive programming sound a little bit too much like esports. So first of all, competitive programming is not esports, it's not gaming, there's really nothing much related to gaming in it. But other than that, mind sport, yeah, that's basically competitive programming. If you think about, say, a food contest, people are trying to, use the best strategy to eat the food as quickly as possible. And just like all contests, the most important part of a competitive programming contest is efficiency. To raise efficiency, use algorithms like search sort or recursion or Dijkstra's to lower the time complexity, which is basically how much time it'll take for the program to run, and also to lower the space complexity, which is how much storage that this program will take. Ultimately, the idea is that when you have a very large network, sometimes if you're working in a large company, you really want to reduce the amount of resources you're using. So that's where competitive programming kind of comes in handy. And this is why most big tech companies nowadays have interview questions that are based on competitive programming. So what are some of the popular competitive programming resources? Well, the most popular website right now is Codeforces. This is a website that is actually based on online judges like the Peking University online judge and others, but those are kind of outdated now, and Codeforces has become the predominant way of ranking competitive programmers. This is a very popular website, so that's usually the one that people will rely on to determine the kind of credibility of their ranking, because there is also a ranking system in Codeforces. Now, of course, there's also a few other websites like HackerRank, CodeWars. CodeWars is a little gamey. HackerRank is a little more professional. It's a little bit more geared toward interview questions and specific skills. That's kind of like the three categories that competitive programming websites are divided into. One is the competitive programming questions targeted toward interviews, that's like HackerRank. And then there's websites like Codeforces, where it's just pretty much competitive programming in general, and they host competitions online every few days in the case of Codeforces because it's really popular, and well, it's really a good way to practice. It's just a competition basically. And then Code Wars is more game oriented. It's trying to make people have fun while they're coding. It is a little bit similar to HackerRank in that it targets specific skills, but that's mostly for the process of learning. Now there's also websites like Musical and ACSL, which of course ACSL is basically what I center a lot of my videos around. These are more competitions than really websites to practice coding with. For example, Musical does have practice problems from its previous contests, but these contests, they don't make any other practice problems beside these contests, except for a few practice problems on their practice website. But there are only a few of those, and those are mostly just to get you introduced to the Musical platform. So besides that, they have a lot smaller cache of problems than websites like Codeforces because Musical has monthly competitions. And for ACSL, it's the same deal. It kind of goes for monthly competitions throughout the school year. So first of all, it doesn't publish any of its past programming problems, so you really can't access those. But it does host its programming problems on HackerRank, so you could go on HackerRank to practice. Other than that, ACSL is actually not that much geared toward competitive programming because it has like short problems, which in my previous videos I've showed are pretty different from what you do in competitive programming. And for other resources online just to learn competitive programming, first of all, you can find a lot of guides on popular websites like Geeks for Geeks and Medium. These websites will have guides to let's say how to program a binary search or what exactly is Dijkstra's. There will be explanations on these kind of websites. And of course, as for videos, the most accredited videos are college lectures from colleges like MIT or Stanford. They post some of their lectures on data structures and algorithms on YouTube, so you can go back and watch those college lectures. But of course, these are very theoretical, so they don't actually teach you really how to write the code. It teaches you what the idea is. So that might be very difficult for a beginner. So I still recommend you try to find a website that's geared for teaching beginners. Alright, I hope you learned a little something about competitive programming today, and this is really just my start to these kind of more conversational videos. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you have any other resources you want to recommend to others. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.